Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, and welcome to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Aladukin Sr. So grateful, thankful to have this time and this opportunity to come to you on today in a very special way and lead you in yet another grief devotion. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is what you reveal on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout, good morning, good morning, good morning. Because morning is a good thing. And I'm so glad that y'all are here on today and allow me to lead you in a very special way in yet another good morning devotion. Today is day 52. We're going to talk about I act with awareness. I act with awareness. Let's get to it. The normal and necessary emotions of grief have tossed me about. But the more I befriend them, the more I see that they can flow through me without controlling me. The normal and necessary emotions of grief have tossed me about. Have the emotions of grief tossed you about? They done sprung you and threw you here, there, and everywhere, right? You got to know and understand first and foremost that these emotions are normal and they're necessary, right? They're not abnormal. They are normal and they are necessary. It's necessary for you to feel what you feel. Give yourself permission to feel what you feel. And when you feel it, you begin to know and understand that these normal and necessary emotions of grief, they'll have you all over the place. Sometimes you'll feel like, you over here, then you over there, then you feeling this, then you feeling that, then you feeling this, then you feeling that. The normal and necessary emotions of grief, they toss you about every which way. This is the good thing though. The more I befriend them, I keep telling y'all, you have to befriend your grief. Grief is not the enemy. Grief is not the enemy. Some of us look at grief as evil. Some of us look at grief as being the enemy. No, you befriend those emotions. Sit down, have a seat. Can we talk for a minute? Right? You acknowledge it. You befriend it. You sit with it. You sit with that emotion. You acknowledge what you feel. And so many of us, we don't do that. You acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the anger, acknowledge the depression, acknowledge the regret, acknowledge it. You befriend it. Have a seat. You name it. You name it. Let's talk. What am I feeling today? Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Hey, Mr. Regret, how you doing today? Why am I feeling you today? What's going on, right? You befriend it. That's the only way to navigate through it, right? It's not the enemy. It's not evil. It's not a bad thing. It's natural, it's normal, it's necessary. It's natural, it's normal, and it's necessary. What you're feeling is natural, it's normal, and it's necessary. What do? I befriend those emotions. The more I see that they can flow through me, but the more I befriend them, the more I see that they can flow through me without controlling me. And this is the thing. That's the point you want to get to where they flow through you without controlling you, right? That you can feel anger without anger controlling you, right? That you can I feel regret, but it's not controlling me. I feel sadness, but it's not controlling me. It doesn't dictate my day. It doesn't determine how things are going to go. You let them flow through you, right? Without controlling you. When you befriend them, that's what takes place. Here it is. When I allow myself to feel my emotions with this awareness, I'm allowing myself to feel my emotions with this awareness. What awareness? That is natural, is normal, is necessary. What awareness? That I can befriend them, that it's not evil, that I can befriend my grief. What awareness? That I allow them to flow through me without controlling me. When you allow yourself, right, to feel your emotions with this awareness, I become more capable of acting with awareness. I realize I no longer have to respond impulsively. Y'all, awareness is everything. You hear me? Awareness is everything. It did I click it off? I did. Oh, I got rid of it. Awareness is everything. When you allow yourself to flow, right, with that type of awareness, then here it is. I love it. What did it say? When I allow myself to feel my emotions with this awareness, I become more capable of acting with awareness. I realize I no longer have to respond impulsively. You ain't got to respond impulsively because I'm aware. I'm aware of what I feel. And I'm controlling it. It doesn't control me. It's flowing through me, but it doesn't control me. Ooh, y'all, I'm trying to put y'all up on game. That's the point y'all want to get to. I realize I no longer have to respond impulsively. I can choose to act consciously and intentionally. That's where you want to be. I'm not responding impulsively, but I'm acting consciously and intentionally. Did y'all hear what I said? That whatever you're feeling, you allow it to flow through you without controlling you. And you don't respond impulsively, but you act intentionally and consciously as you navigate through this thing called grief. This in turn allows me to create the life I want. Here's the final thought, beloved. Conscious awareness of what I think and feel allows me to befriend my grief. Conscious awareness of what I think and what I feel, it allows me to control my grief. When you are consciously aware of what you are thinking and how you are feeling, guess what? It allows you to befriend your grief. And beloved, I'm telling you, that's the place where you want to be. Today is day 52. This was for me and for you. I act with awareness. Y'all holler at your boy one time for the one time. Questions, comments, concerns. Questions, comments, concerns. Awareness is everything. I hope and pray that y'all got it. Awareness is everything. When you start talking about this grief, y'all, befriend it is not the enemy. Whatever you're feeling is natural, is normal, is necessary. It's natural, it's normal, it's necessary. I want y'all to, and that's even a mantra you can say when that thing start to rise up in you. It's natural, it's normal, it's necessary. It's natural, it's normal, it's necessary. Y'all see that technique? It's natural, it's normal, it's necessary. When it comes to what you feel, it's natural, it's normal, it's not. You got to have this awareness, right? And I'm befriending my grief. Sit down. Let's talk. You, my friend, right? Because it's helping you navigate through the process. It's helping you sort your feelings. It's helping you. It brings about awareness. It's intel. It's giving you intel on what you're experiencing, what you're going through. Pilar Patrick, the more aware I become of myself and my feelings, I've started to pause and process before responding to it. Is that okay? Absolutely. Thank you so very much for sharing this. I say it this way: pause and process before you proceed. Pause and process. You hit that pause button, boop. Pause and process before you proceed. That's with everything. The more I am becoming aware of myself and my feelings, right? When you are aware of yourself and your feelings, and this is what happens, Miss Pilar, when you do that, you don't act impulsively, but you act consciously and you act intentionally. Why? Because you paused and you processed before you proceeded. That's the real PPP right there. That's the real PP. I know they had PPP loans going out. This is the real. This is the best PPP. You pause and process before you proceed. And when you do that, you respond once again, not impulsively. Because if you don't pause and if you don't process, you impulsive. You just reacting. You don't want to do that. Pause and process before you proceed. That way, I'm responding consciously and intentionally, right? That's where you want to be. And what you feel is natural, is normal, is necessary. Yep. Pause, process before you proceed. Pause and process. You can even throw ponder in there if you want. I pause, I ponder, I process before I proceed, right? I'm the alliteration king, Dr. Seuss who. I'm a pause, I'm a ponder, and I'm a process before I proceed, right? That's what we got to do. That's a great technique with anything. People try to get you to do stuff impulsively. People try to play on your emotions when you buy stuff, when you purchase stuff, when you do stuff. You see commercials, they look so delicious. They want you to be impulsive. People want you to respond out of your emotion, right? They try to get you to do things. That's why you see big old signs in the window, 50% off. They want you to respond out of your emotion. You like, woo, let me run in here. I'm getting a deal. But what you need to do, pause, ponder, and process before you proceed, right? If you watching Risa Tisa on TikTok, we talked about that in the other one. You know what she should have did? Pause, pondered, and processed before she proceeded. That'll help you out. That'll save you. That'll bless your whole entire life. Not just with grief in life, period. If you pause, ponder, and process before you proceed, it'll bless your whole entire life. I no longer let anyone rush a response from me, including myself. Yes, that's so good. That's so good. When people try to tell you you got to make a decision right now, I'm not making a decision because I have not had the opportunity to pause and ponder and process. I cannot proceed if I do not ponder and process. And I'm a thinker. I'm very analytical, right? And so, yeah, I don't let nobody rush a response from me. I know what they need to know right now. Well, tell them, and I don't have an answer. I can't tell you nothing right now. I'm sorry, I can't. What you want me to say? I can't do it. You can't rush a response out of me. But this technique definitely helps with grief, right? Because you want to respond not impulsively, but you want to respond consciously and intentionally. And in order to do that, you got to pause, process, or pause, ponder, and process before you proceed. You don't have to add the fourth one in there. You can, you don't have to. uh, no questions. I appreciate y'all. Look, keep tuning in. We do this every single day, y'all. If you are dealing with loss, change, and transition, primarily death, but any loss, change, and transition, this is this is the daily devotion for you. 8 o'clock every single day. It is a grief devotion. Good morning, morning, right? It's the grief devotion, and we're just trying to give you tools, tips, techniques, and takeaways to help you as you navigate through your grief. Like I said, primarily death, but anything, because whenever you deal with loss, change, and transition, guess what? You get emotional. You get emotional. You get emotional. That means you get vulnerable. You get vulnerable. And even with grief, when you get vulnerable, people will play on your vulnerability. People will play on your vulnerability. Your defenses are down. You're wide open. You are emotional and you make decisions that can be detrimental. So even in that, pause, ponder, and process before you proceed, right? It is so very important. You want to, and a lot of times when you're going through grief, things are cloudy because you're going through grief, right? And so a lot of things are cloudy, and everybody doesn't have good intentions. So even with that, you got to be careful. You got to be careful when you're dealing with loss, change, and transition. It could be the loss of a pet, the loss of a job, whatever the case may be. People will slide in because they know you're emotional and you're vulnerable, and they can take advantage of you, right? Or even you yourself, you're emotional and you're vulnerable. So now you want to eat up everything, or now you want to buy everything, and you try to justify it because you're trying to feel um, a void, right? Because of the way you feel. So now you want to do all of this stuff, but you're gonna compound the problem. You're gonna run up debt, right? You're gonna put on 20 pounds because you're eating emotionally. You're gonna engage in some illicit affairs, right? Because you're emotional and you're vulnerable and you're acting impulsively instead of consciously and intentionally. So, what do? Especially when you're vulnerable, especially when you're emotional, especially when you're dealing with loss, change, and transition. What do? You pause, you ponder, and you process before you proceed because everything is cloudy and you want to make decisions with clarity, right? So you pause, you ponder, you process before you proceed. So you're not making decisions that are impulsive, but you're making decisions that are conscious and intentional. Come on, man. Y'all get free game every single day. If y'all, man, look, if y'all ain't showing up to get this free game, these free counseling sessions, these free coaching sessions, it's just a bite, but it's gonna bless you. It's just a grief bite, but it's gonna bless you, right? And we've been doing this. This is the second year, y'all. We did it every day last year, except for one. I was in the emergency room. Forgive me. But today is day 52, right? Every single day, we trying to serve y'all and help y'all to navigate through your grief. And I hope and pray it's been a blessing. I hope that you have been able to navigate through your grief one day at a time. It's the daily devotional that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. And so I thank God for y'all. I'm so thankful for you, Miss Shirley Tempton Withington. Continue to join us. I've always say something throughout the day. Well, Pastor said this morning in devotion. I know that's right. You know you special when you get quotable, when they start quoting you. That is absolutely awesome. And I love it. And I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. Y'all appreciate this community. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Just know I'm pulling for y'all. I'm praying for y'all. I want y'all to make it, right? I want y'all to be the best version of yourselves. And so I love y'all with the love of the Lord, man. I'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m., same bat channel, same bat station. If the Lord say the same, hold on to this word. Go back and watch it again. Share it with somebody that you know can benefit from it. And I'll see y'all soon. Let's go.